What happens when Hollywood's most enduring icon, a star whose charisma has defined decades, faces off against a talk show host known for his razor-sharp wit and unrelenting provocations? Brad Pitt thought he was stepping onto the Graham Norton show to promote his high-octane new film F1, a pulse-pounding drama about the world of Formula One racing. But what erupted was a fiery clash that left the audience reeling, producers scrambling, and the internet ablaze. This wasn't just a celebrity interview gone sideways. It was a brutal showdown over authenticity, legacy, and the price of fame that turned a lively chat into a cultural lightning bolt. Hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments, because this story rockets to a boiling point with every word, and you won't believe how it explodes. Brad Pitt walked onto the Graham Norton show set, greeted by roaring applause, ready to talk about F1, but Graham Norton, with his trademark charm, quickly steered the conversation into a heated debate about Pitt's persona, his Hollywood image, and the authenticity of his everyman appeal. Graham Norton kicked off. "Welcome back to the Graham Norton Show, folks. We've got the one and only Brad Pitt with us tonight, star of F1, tearing up the racetrack. But Brad, let's be honest, you're not exactly a regular guy driving a beat-up pickup, are you?" Brad responded, "Good to be here, Graham. I don't know about pickups, but I'm just a guy who loves telling stories. F1's about passion and risk, something I think we all get." Graham pressed, "Passion, sure, but come on, you're Mr. Hollywood, living in mansions, dating supermodels. Isn't this regular guy shtick a bit of a stretch for you?" Brad countered, "Shtick? I don't play roles off screen, Graham. I'm in this for the craft, not the spotlight. Why's that hard to buy?" The audience murmured, sensing the edge, as Graham leaned in. "Craft's one thing, but you've been selling this cool, relatable vibe since Thelma and Louise. Don't you ever get tired of playing the golden boy?" Brad's voice stayed steady. "I don't play anything. I show up and tell stories. F1 took me into the world of drivers who risk it all. That's real to me. What's wrong with bringing that to the screen?" Graham smirked. "Nothing wrong. But let's not pretend you're out there sweating with mechanics. You're a brand, Brad. A carefully polished one, right?" Brad replied, "A brand? That's your word, not mine. I spent 30 years picking roles that challenge me, from Fight Club to F1. I'm not selling cereal. I'm telling truth." Graham pushed back. "Truths? That's rich. Your truth comes with a private jet and a $20 million paycheck. How's that resonate with the average Joe?" Brad fired back. "The average Joe wants stories that hit hard, not my bank account details. You ever think your audience might want more than gossip?" Graham's tone sharpened. "Gossip? I'm just asking what everyone's thinking. You're out here acting like you're one of us. But you're untouchable, aren't you, with your Oscar and your perfect hair?" Brad responded. "Untouchable? I've had my flops, my failures. I've been dragged through the mud. I keep going because I love the work, not the headlines. Why's that a problem for you?" Graham scoffed. "No problem, but let's talk about this F1 film. It's all grit and glory, but isn't it just you playing the same charming rogue we've seen in Ocean's 11 or Troy?" Brad's voice grew firmer. "You're missing it, Graham. F1's about the grind, the stakes those drivers face. I trained with real racers, learned their world. You think that's just me coasting?" The audience shifted, feeling the tension rise, as Graham shot back. "Coasting or not, you're still the guy who makes it look easy. But is it real, or is it just Brad Pitt being Brad Pitt again?" Brad leaned in. "Real? I put everything into my roles, from 12 Monkeys to F1. I'm not phoning it in. You're the one turning this into a caricature. Why can't you take the work seriously?" Graham laughed. "Oh, I take it seriously, but let's not kid ourselves. You're a megastar, not a method actor slumming it. You think your fans buy this, I'm just like you routine?" Brad countered, "My fans? They're why I do this. They get the stories, not the tabloid nonsense you're pushing. You ever try asking about the art instead of the image?" The audience gasped, the air crackling, as Graham's voice turned icy. "Art? That's a fancy word for a guy who's been coasting on charm for decades. Maybe it's time to admit you're more brand than artist, no? Brad's tone stayed calm but sharp. You want to talk brands, Graham? Look at your show. All glitz and gotcha moments. You're not digging for truth. You're fishing for clicks, and I'm not here for that. Graham fired back. Clicks? I'm giving the audience what they want. Tough questions, not fluff. You can't handle a little heat, Brad. Brad responded, Heat's fine, but this isn't heat. It's a setup. You invited me to talk F1, not to be your punching bag. Why not ask about the film instead of my life? The audience clapped lightly, but Graham pushed harder. I'll ask what I want, and I'm asking if you're just recycling the same old Brad Pitt charm, because frankly, it's getting old. Brad's voice cut through. Old? My work's evolved with every film, from 7 to F1. I take risks. I grow. What about you, Graham? Still leaning on the same snarky routine. The crowd roared, the tension peaking, as Graham snapped. Snarky? I'm calling it like I see it. You're a star, not a saint. Stop acting like you're above the game. Graham Norton doubles down. So Brad, you're saying you're not just coasting on that famous charm, but let's be real. Isn't F1 just another slick Pitt flick where you flash that smile and save the day? Brad Pitt fires back. You're obsessed with my smile, Graham. But F1's about real stakes, real drivers. I spent months with Formula One teams. You think that's just me winking at the camera? Graham laughs sharply. Months with teams? Sounds like a nice vacation. You're not exactly climbing into a cockpit for real. Are you just playing dress-up for the paycheck? Brad snaps. Dress up? I put my heart into every role, from Snatch to F1. I'm not here to fake it. Why are you so hell-bent on tearing that down? Graham leans in. I'm not tearing anything. I'm asking if you're selling authenticity, or just a shiny Brad Pitt package, because your fans might be buying a fantasy, not the real you. Brad's voice sharpens. Fantasy? My fans aren't idiots, Graham. They see the work, the risks I take. Like producing 12 Years a Slave or diving into F1's world. You think that's just me coasting? Graham shoots back. Producing's cute, but let's talk acting. You're always the cool guy. The hero. Isn't it a bit predictable? Or is that just what Hollywood demands from Brad Pitt? Brad counters. Predictable? I've played psychos, losers, even a guy who ages backward. I challenge myself. Graham, what's predictable is you fishing for drama instead of talking about F1. Graham smirks. Drama? This is my job, asking the questions fans want, like, do you ever get tired of being the guy everyone loves? Or is that ego too big to quit? Brad's tone hardens. Ego? You're the one turning this into a circus. I came to talk about a film, not to stroke your need for a gotcha moment. Graham pushes harder. Circus? You're the ringmaster, Brad, strutting in with your Oscar and your blockbuster cred, acting like you're above the game. Don't you ever feel like a sellout? Brad fires back. Sellout? I've fought for roles that matter, from Moneyball to F1. I'm not chasing clout, I'm chasing stories. Why can't you respect that instead of playing tabloid host? Graham's voice rises. Respect? I respect truth. And the truth is you're a megastar who plays the humble guy card, while living a life most can't even dream of. Isn't that a bit fake? Brad snaps. Fake? I've never hidden who I am. I own my choices, my mistakes, my wins. What's fake is you pretending this is journalism when you're just hunting for clicks. The crowd claps loudly, but Graham waves it off. Clicks? I'm giving the audience what they want. A real look at Brad Pitt, not the polished icon. So tell me, when did you decide charm was enough to carry a career? Brad's voice cuts like a knife. Charm? I've bled for my work, from Inglorious Bastards to F1. I take risks you'd never touch. Graham, you're not exposing me, you're exposing your own bias. Graham laughs coldly. Bias? I'm calling it like I see it. You're a star who's mastered the art of looking deep without actually saying anything. Isn't that your real talent? Brad counters. Talent? My talent's in the work, not your sound bites. I've built a career on stories that hit hard. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You think that's just me skating by? Graham presses. Stories, sure. But they're always about you, the golden boy. Don't you ever feel like you're stuck in a loop, playing the same guy? Brad's voice rises. Stuck? I evolve with every role. I dig into the grit, the pain. You'd know that if you watched F1 instead of skimming headlines for ammo. Graham's tone turns biting. Ammo? I'm just asking what everyone thinks. You're out here acting like you're some tortured artist. But you're just a celebrity, right? Not a philosopher? Brad fires back. Philosopher? I don't need to be one. I tell stories that make people feel, think, connect. That's more than your cheap shots do, Graham. Why is it so hard for you to take that seriously? Graham snaps. I take it seriously, but let's not pretend you're changing the world. You're selling tickets, looking cool doing it. Isn't that the whole Brad Pitt deal? Brad leans in. Deal? My deal is honesty. I pour myself into every project, from Ad Astra to F1. You're the one selling a narrative, trying to paint me as some shallow icon. Graham laughs. Shallow? Maybe not, but you're not exactly breaking new ground, just recycling that Pitt magic, or am I wrong? Brad's voice turns icy. You're wrong, Graham, dead wrong. I've taken risks you can't imagine. And I'm not here to be your punching bag for ratings. Graham pushes the knife deeper. Ratings? This is about truth, Brad. You've been coasting on that charm since Legends of the Fall. Ever think it's time to let someone else have the spotlight? Brad snaps back. Spotlight? I earn my place every time I step on set. I don't need your approval, but I'm not here to play your game either. So why don't we talk F1 like we agreed? Graham smirks. Oh, we'll get to F1. But first, tell me, when did you decide you were bigger than the industry? Too big to answer tough questions. Brad's voice booms. Bigger? I'm just doing my job, Graham. You're the one making this personal, throwing punches instead of asking about the craft. Why's that? Graham fires back. Personal? I'm just peeling back the curtain. Your fans deserve to know if you're real or just a Hollywood myth, don't they? Brad stands abruptly. Myth? I'm as real as it gets, Graham, and I'm done with your traps. You want a fight? You've got one. But I'm not playing your clown. Brad Pitt stands at the edge of the Graham Norton show set, his decision to call out Graham's tactics hanging like a live wire, the audience holding their breath, waiting for the next move in a clash that's already spiraled into chaos. Graham Norton, caught off guard by Brad's defiance, tries to regain control, his voice sharp as he jumps back into the fray, determined to land the final blow, but unaware he's about to crash headfirst into a wall of Pitt's unshakable resolve. Subscribe and share your thoughts below, because this showdown's conclusion will hit you like a Formula One car at full speed, revealing who walks away with their legacy intact and who's left in the dust. Graham fires first. So Brad, you're done playing my game, huh? You think you can just stand up and act like you're above this, above me, above this show? Brad cuts in. Above? I'm not above anything, Graham. I just won't sit here while you twist my work into some cheap tabloid headline. Why can't we talk about F1 like adults? Graham snaps. Adults? I'm giving the audience what they want. The real Brad Pitt. Not the polished movie star who dodges tough questions with charm. You scared to face the truth? Brad's voice booms. Truth? You're not chasing truth. You're chasing drama. I've been honest about my work, from 7 to F1. But you'd rather sling mud than talk craft. Why's that? Graham laughs coldly. Craft? You're selling charisma, Brad. You've been doing it since a river runs through it. Don't pretend you're some deep artist when you're just a face on a poster. Brad fires back. A face? I've taken risks you'd never touch, Graham. I produced The Big Short. I dove into F1's world with real racers. You think that's just me coasting on looks? Graham pushes harder. Risks? You mean picking safe bets that keep you in the spotlight. You're not exactly reinventing yourself. Just recycling the same old Pitt magic, right? Brad's tone sharpens. Recycling? I've played killers, conmen, dreamers. I've pushed boundaries in Fight Club, F1, you name it. What have you pushed, Graham, besides buttons to get a laugh? The crowd cheers, emboldening Brad as Graham snaps. Buttons? I'm asking what fans want, like, are you really the guy you play on screen, or is it all an act to keep the Brad Pitt myth alive? Brad counters, myth? I'm realer than your questions. I own every choice I've made, every role, every flop. You're the one acting. Playing gotcha for clicks, not truth. Graham's voice rises. Truth? The truth is you're a brand, Brad. A golden boy who's never had to fight for relevance. You think you're above scrutiny because you're a star? Brad shoots back. Scrutiny? I've faced it my whole career. From Interview with the Vampire to F1. I don't dodge it, but I won't sit here for your cheap shots. You invited me to talk film, not to be your punching bag. Graham leans in. Punching bag? I'm just peeling back the curtain. Your fans deserve to know if you're authentic or just a Hollywood machine, don't they? Brad's voice cuts through. Authentic? I've poured my soul into every project, from Babel to F1. I'm not here to sell a machine. I'm here to tell stories, something you clearly don't get. Graham scoffs. Stories? You're selling an image, Brad. The cool guy, the heartthrob. Isn't it time to admit you're more about fame than art? Brad stands taller. Fame? I've earned my place, Graham, through decades of work, not by ambushing guests for ratings. You want to talk art? Let's talk F1. Or are you too busy playing shock jock? Graham fires back. Shock jock? I'm giving the audience what they want, a real look at you, not the polished icon. You can't handle a few tough questions, can you? Brad's voice turns icy. Tough questions? You're not asking, you're attacking. You set me up to tear me down. That's not a show, that's a trap. And I'm not falling for it. Graham laughs. Trap? You walked into this, Brad. You knew what my show's about. If you can't take the heat, maybe stick to red carpets. Brad counters. Heat? I can take heat, Graham. I've faced critics, flops, scandals. But I don't play games with hosts who'd rather mock than talk. Why not try that for once? Graham's tone turns venomous. Mock? I'm calling you out. You've been coasting on that Pitt charm forever. Ever think it's time to let someone else shine, or is your ego too big? Brad snaps. Ego? You're the one with the ego, Graham, turning a film promo into a personal attack. You think that makes you a journalist, or just a bully with a mic? The crowd roars, clearly on Brad's side, as Graham pushes back. Bully? I'm asking what everyone's thinking. You're not some tortured artist. You're a celebrity. Own it. Stop pretending you're above it all. Brad fires back. Above it? I'm in it, Graham. I've fought for every role, from Troy to F1. I don't pretend. I deliver. You're the one pretending this is about truth when it's about your show's ratings. Graham's voice cracks. Ratings? This is about honesty, Brad. You're a star who's never had to struggle. You think you're untouchable, don't you? Brad's voice booms. Untouchable? I've been knocked down plenty, Graham. I've rebuilt, taken risks, made films like World War Z that push limits. What have you built besides a platform to tear people down? Graham snaps. Tear down? I'm exposing the real you, not the F1 hero. But the guy who's been playing the same part for years. You're not fooling anyone. Brad counters. Fooling? I'm not here to fool anyone. I'm here to talk F1, a film about grit, passion. You'd know if you cared about the work instead of chasing headlines. Graham laughs bitterly. Headlines? You're the king of headlines, Brad. Every move you make is news. Don't act like you don't love it. Brad's tone turns final. Love it? I love my craft, not your circus. Graham, I'm done with this. You want to fight, you've got it, but I'm not your clown. Brad starts walking off, but Graham shouts, Running away, Brad? That's real classy. Can't handle a little pushback, Mr. Hollywood. Brad turns back. Running? I'm walking, Graham, because I've got too much respect for myself to play your game. You invited me to talk F1, not to be your punching bag. Graham snaps. My game? This is my show, Brad. You don't get to dictate terms. Sit down or get out. Brad's voice is calm but lethal. Get out? Perfect. You've just proven my point. You're not interested in truth. You're interested in drama, and I'm not here for that. Graham shouts, drama? You're the drama king, Brad, storming off like a diva. Go on, leave, show everyone who you really are. Brad pauses, addressing the audience. You want to know who I am? I'm a guy who loves his work, who respects you enough to be real, not to play along with this nonsense. Remember that when you see who's really playing games here. Brad walks off, leaving Graham shouting, Go on, Brad. Run back to your mansion. We'll talk F1 without you. But the crowd's applause follows Brad, drowning out Graham's words, as he disappears through the exit. Graham tries to pivot. Well, folks, that's Brad Pitt for you. Let's move on. But his voice falters, the audience's energy clearly with Brad. Clips of the clash hit social media instantly, trending worldwide, with fans praising Brad's stand, saying, Pitt just owned Norton, pure class, while others slam Graham. Norton tried to humiliate Brad and got schooled. Headlines scream, Brad Pitt walks off Graham Norton show in epic showdown, and analysts note Brad's victory. His authenticity shining through while Graham's credibility takes a hit, his ambush backfiring spectacularly. Brad stays silent, letting his exit speak, his legacy as a star who fights for his craft cemented. Graham's team scrambles with a weak apology, but the damage is done, his persona as a witty host now tainted by a mean streak. Years later, this moment lives on, a testament to Brad's grace under fire, proving that authenticity triumphs over manufactured drama, leaving fans inspired and Graham exposed as the one who lost the real race.
Thank you for watching our channel Modern Stories. If you liked our video, you should subscribe for more amazing videos like this. Have a healthy and happy day. See you in the next one.